Minutes, sponsored by Sinclair Heating and Cooling for 24/7 comfort on call.
Well, hello, Brad.
Greetings.
Nice to see you again after the holiday week.
Hope everybody had a great holiday. So, Chris, over the holiday weekend, I'm going through news on my phone, okay? And I keep chancing upon a headline that is somewhat to this tune. NASA receives laser beamed message from deep space. Now, wait. NASA receives a laser beam message from deep space. And my first thought was,
who's calling?
Where is this coming from? You're right. Who is it from? Have they been able to decipher it? And my next thought was, why is this not continuously breaking news worldwide? I mean, okay, spoiler alert.
Then you scroll down a little further
and start reading the story. So the bottom line is the message actually came from NASA. It sent the message to itself, okay? But it was a great headline.
It really was clickbait.
Yeah, right.
In this case.
Yeah, guilty. Okay, let's learn a little bit more about it because it's actually a very important finding, okay? So here's the original press release from NASA. I did find that. Their deep space optical communications demo sent and received the first data ever, okay? So this experiment is riding aboard the recently launched Psyche spacecraft, which you may recall on October 12th, we first brought you this story. The Psyche spacecraft will visit an asteroid in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter.
Okay.
So it launched 6 weeks ago, okay, with the little communication device kind of hitching the ride, okay, because it's just testing it, see if it works out. But the bottom line is that even though that spacecraft launched 6 weeks ago, it's nearly already 10 million miles away from Earth, okay?
And if you're wondering what deep space is, there it is, 10 million miles.
Correct. So it uses a near-infrared laser beam that was encoded with some test data just to make sure that they could receive it, okay? And this is going to be a two-way communication test that will entail the next 2 years. So they're going to be busy working with this. And here's why it's important. Because it's going to transform how spacecraft and astronauts communicate with Earth. Because right now, we use radio waves, okay? And both radio waves and laser beams travel at the speed of light. They travel at the same speed, but you can encode 100 times more data in the same amount of space with a laser beam as you can with a radio wave, okay? So here's what's going to happen. As the director of technology from NASA says, this paves the way towards higher-end data rate communications capable of sending a lot of scientific information, high-definition imagery, even streaming video as we head over to Mars. But you have to still remember, and this is what's really interesting about this whole thing, even for Mars, depending on where the Earth and Mars is located, you send a message to there, it'll take anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, and then it's going to take 5 to 20 minutes for it to come back. To, okay? So, I mean, there's still that time frame involved. But listen to this. How complex is this? So that when you are sending and receiving messages, that beam needs to be aimed precisely where it needs to be picked up. So when you send the message, you have to take into account the time difference, where the spacecraft will be, and where the Earth will be to make sure that everything's all lined up. And that's why it's amazing they're able to do it, and it looks like it's going to work.
Very interesting stuff there. Laser beams. That's all I can think of. I'm sorry. All right, Brad, thanks so much. We'll see you again tomorrow. Still to come.